Hey, what's going on, y'all? Shout out. Wish you guys a very happy Tuesday. Um, Wish you guys a very happy Tuesday. Welcome to the weekly Tuesday live. I got my guest Bernard Taylor that'll be joining me in just a couple of minutes. I will mention before we get started, be sure to like the live if you have the opportunity. Be sure to subscribe to the page, those of you that are not already subscribed. And welcome to everybody joining us from Patreon as well. Shout out to you guys over there in the community chat. I got a question for those of you out there that have procreated, and a little piece of gratitude for those of you that have chosen not to. What time does Terrible 2 start? And when does it end? Is it the second year of life? Or is it when they are two something? When they are literally two and change? Because if this boy don't stop yelling, you know what I mean? If this boy don't stop yelling, I might have to look into my rights. You know what I mean, as an adult. And I feel like my rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are being infringed on. That's what I feel like at this particular point in time. Now my citizenship can't reach its full potential. And it's times like these that I sit up here, I'm doing my live, right? I'm trying to create a community and I'm trying to connect with people, but I'm also trying to establish a life for him. And he don't want it. You know what I mean? He don't want it. He don't want it. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. That's what he just told me. That's what he just told me. He don't want it. You know what I mean? So who am I? Who am I to take away his agency and his freedom? You know what I mean? Sitting here setting up all type of scholarship funds and whatnot. I'm about to get right on Expedia. As soon as this live finish, I'm going right. What deals they got going on? I think you could travel on Costco now. I think Costco got the vacation deals now. You know what I mean? Just look for me. Now I won't be leaving the country. I won't be leaving the country. I don't know that I comfortably passed the paper bag test comfortably enough to leave the country. I'll go down to Florida and just be like, that looks like fun. I'm not going. And I am telling you, that's how I see when I go on social media and I see all the people traveling out of the country and whatnot. And I am telling you, I'm not going. And you. That's how I look at the Trump administration. And you, you're gonna love me. I ain't going. I saw Miss Ray said that her child was rough 1 through 5. I ain't got that kind of time. He's not gonna be 2 till August. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And the other thing, what up, Be Humble? Shout out to my man, Be Humble, man. One of the OGs of the channel, because he got it now. So my son and my daughter's room, and I got to be quick because I got a lot to get through here. My son and my daughter's room are right next to each other, right? And a lot of times when he's wilding, we have to go try and make sure he don't wake my daughter up. So like to cry it out, he ain't gotten enough cry it out. He ain't really gotten cried out like that because we can't afford for him to cry it out because he's gonna wake up his sister. You know what I mean? So he got us like reactionary going in there, and I think it done made him soft. You know what I mean? I think it done made him soft. I think that's what I think. I think we have already created a spoiled issue. And so I am ready to propose. We'll see how I feel in an hour and change from now. When I finish this, I go down and talk to my wife. We'll see how I feel. But right now, my proposal is to move his room down to the basement. This is a wing, we don't even hear it. This is we don't even hear it. Just put the crib in front of the washing machine and turn the washing machine on. And so we just, you know what I mean? Is he crying? I don't even know. Turn the game on. That's where we about to be. That's where we about to be. Welcome to Bemidji. I believe it's Bemidji, but Bem, welcome. Thank you for being here. Treva said time flies not fast enough. Time's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And the other thing too, and then here it is, 8:11. Y'all done got me. This is the other thing. Whenever I have these moments where I be thinking, this must be a dad thing. I'm going to talk about this on Way of Waters one of these days. This must be a dad thing, a dad of young children. Whenever I have these moments like last night, I was crazy busy last night, and I didn't really have a whole lot of chance. I didn't spend as much time with them as I wanted to. And so last night I felt very guilty. I was like, what am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? You know what I mean? I decided to start my own platform so I could make my own schedule so I could be home because I got young kids, because I listen to everybody telling me, why don't you get settled first and get your career under control before you settle down, start. I listen to them. Okay. Now I'm simultaneously looking up daycare options and AARP funds at the same time. That's what I'm doing. Okay. When I made that video, what video was that? The Van Jones video. I made the Van Jones video, and when he talked about taking grandpa's keys, which is funny to me. When he talking about taking grandpa's keys, and I said, what's going on at Shady Pines? Is a shuffleboard that lit that you got to take grandpa's keys? Remember I said that? And I said, if it's that lit, I'm checking in early. I've already started looking into it. I know what the good homes is around here. I already know what the good homes is around here. People, we are trying to get our kids into a good district, right? So that they can go, you know what I mean? They can go to good, while I'm trying to get into a good home at the same time. Because I listen to them. Tell me to get settled first. So I'm thinking about, last night, you spent all this time, trying to get them, you know what I mean? Trying to get to a point where you can spend time with your kids and quality of life. That was the whole thing, was quality of life. And now you find days like yesterday where you miss those moments. That's how I was thinking last night. So I woke up today all day. I've been like, I want to make sure I get to spend that time. I get to, you know what I mean? I want to make sure I get to spend that quality time. And then as soon as they come home and I'm ready for the, here comes daddy. Ah, mommy, mom. How was your day, sweetheart? I don't want to talk. I don't want daddy to sit by us at dinner. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. After I done spent a whole day, I done spent 16 hours thinking about trying to spend. I don't like when daddy come. I spent 40 years. I spent 40 years getting to a point where I knew my worth. I spent 40 years getting to a point where I knew my worth. I spent 40 years getting to a point where I had the freedom to walk away, when I had the freedom to go to the places where I am valued and to be with the people who value me. That is why I'm here right now talking to y'all. I spent 40 years getting to that point, only to move in with some toddlers that don't give a damn, and I got no choice. What's that? What's that? You know what I mean? Now, I will say this. Because my wife cannot be here because she's dealing with them right now. If she were here, she would probably say, I will trade you open rejection and I'll trade you open rejection and consistent emotional damage and continually question your value as a father. I will trade you that for being the one that has to be on call because they need mommy 24 hours a day, getting up out of sleep. You know what I mean? She would offer that deal. She would offer that deal, and I would refuse. So I will say that. I will admit that. I will admit that. You know what I mean? I'm complaining, but one of the greatest, I get mad when I hear I want mommy. I get mad till it comes at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Till it comes at 2 a.m. You be in bed. Let me go up and get that man. I want mommy. Hey, that's you. That's you right there. That's you right there. No, yeah. Because if I go in there, then he gonna get to a state where you can't even bring it, so that you got to go ahead. Yeah, that's you go ahead and handle that. All right. Let me. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that. All right. While I'm on the subject of breaking the fourth wall here, I do have to tell y'all this. First of all, the first weekly newsletter is coming out tomorrow. So if you haven't got a chance to sign up, head over to Patreon. You can sign up for that. The discount is still on. It'll be on for the first month. And for those of you that are already members, you can try it for free for a couple months. So that newsletter is coming out tomorrow. I need to holler about these Karen videos. Like, have we been seeing more Karen videos, or I don't know. Like, is more stuff happening, or is it just we have the infrastructure to blow it up and get the word out like we haven't had before? I don't know. It feels like we are getting these Karen videos on a regular basis. But I need to holler at y'all about what happened out in Minnesota, right? So I made a video about that woman, Shiloh, her name is. I made a video about that woman who dropped ends on the autistic little boy, right? I was very clean in that video. Kid was censored, and I didn't go into all the MFs that I wanted to when it came to addressing her and the people that gave to her GoFundMe. That was up double what the kids GoFundMe. I ain't go nearly as hard as I could have gone. Okay. I hustled to get that video up and out because I wanted to express myself on the issue. So I made that a big priority for me. Do you know what I had to deal with to get that video out? Do you realize I spent Because on weekends, something happens on weekends, or I see something on weekends, I basically got nap time. That's basically my work time is nap time. So I forget what day that was. I think it was Sunday. I put that video out. I got nap time. I got 3 hours in the middle of the day. That's your work time, right? So my plan, get the video up, and I was going to take 2 other videos. That was my plan. I spent the whole 3 hours getting beat in the forehead by the YouTube censors. For what? I have no idea. Not even the actual video. The video was good. This was about the description. I'm like, take this out, take this out, take this out, take this out. I'm sitting there playing whack-a-mole, just trying to get this video up and out. And this is the stuff that makes me so tight. Because I'm like, let me get this straight. So she can drop ends. Do a whole GoFundMe. You got Nate Higgers and Dylan Roof up here donating $600,000+. And I'm getting flagged for talking about it. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's the stuff that makes me so tight. And if you really think through it, right? So as a host, as a creator, right? I have to make decisions. I have to make content decisions, right? I mostly just make the decisions, but occasionally I'll talk to different people, but I have to make content decisions. So it discourages people from wanting to address these things. I've talked about this before. Back in the day, this channel used to be wild social justice videos. It used to look like Rashad Ritchie. And I don't know what Rashad Ritchie's channel is big enough, and they're tied with the Young Turks that they could probably, they could throw their weight around a little. I don't know, but I'm imagining, they have a different rubric than a smaller channel has, right? But my timeline used to look like Rashad Ritchie's. It was all that stuff. And I was just getting flagged left and right. It looked like the Celtics. It looked like the Celtics Knicks was playing. And don't act like y'all didn't see that. Them Zebras did everything possible to get them Celtics over the finish line. My goodness. I call it like, I don't got no love for the Knicks like that, but I call it like I see it. That was nonsense. They act like the Celtics was playing, about to drop game 1 at home. That's how many flags YouTube was throwing up at me. So now I got to make content decisions. Do I want to talk about Trump's meeting in the White House with Mark Carney? Or do I want to talk about the dude who got unalived in middle America somewhere? Because one ain't going to give me no problems. It discourages people from wanting to address these things, and these are the things that need addressing. These are the things that need attention. These are the issues that need to be elevated. And oftentimes they're not, because people have to make legitimate content decisions. It's one thing that gives me some gratitude for. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Honestly, shout out to everybody who supports the channel. It makes me grateful for the ability to connect without the algorithm. That's one of the things that makes me grateful for, like, membership and stuff like that. Is that I just don't even got it. You know what I mean? I don't even have to deal with this. Robert, I'm not on Substack. But I follow some Substacks. That'd be an interesting place for me. All right, let me get through this quickly. Members Live. We got a Members Live coming up this weekend. I was unable to do it last weekend. I apologize. Some family stuff came up, and it actually wasn't my son. But we will do a Members Live this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. I'm also going to be on the next Olay and Friends. Those of you that follow our guests from last week, Olay, she's doing another taping tomorrow, so look out for that. And our first guest, if you recall, our first guest on this particular channel just dropped a new video, and I'm going to use that as my transition as I bring on our esteemed guests. So I'm going to use that as my transition. Also, I have to use I got to go to the little men's, so we'll do that. I got a long way to go. Yeah, I got a long way to go. But shout out to all you guys that have supported us up to this point. TP, I appreciate you, sir. As always, I appreciate you. Treva, thank you so much. Thank you. I cannot believe how fast time flies. You're fantastic. Let's continue to hold the line with Reese. Thank you, TP. I very much appreciate that. Cassie, thank you. Thank you very much, Cassie, for being so thorough. I appreciate that. Tell my baby auntie Chernobyl said turn it up to 10. I be watching memes all the time of reasons why my baby had a tantrum this weekend, and it'd be wild, crazy stuff. Like, I wouldn't let him put ketchup in his bottle and stuff like that. That's where we're at. Tammy, I appreciate you as always. Thank you. And shout out to Tammy and Deshauna. Y'all are extremely active in the community chat over on Patreon. I very much appreciate you guys for that. Before I get to the new Lepers video, on the horizon, we got another Jasmine Crockett video. If you haven't got a chance to check out the one I posted today, it was about her clapping back at the Trump administration, what she's called low IQ. There's a YouTube video, I posted a link of it, where they had asked ChatGPT about all the people that Trump has called low IQ and how racist that is. How racist just the group of people that he's called low IQ. I appreciate that they at least did that. The second video I have, and I just have to make this point on the live. So during her IG live, and if you haven't got a chance to watch Jasmine Crockett's IG live, I suggest you do it. She has it up on YouTube. During her IG live, she talks about how, this is what the second video is about for the most part. She talks about how there's so little pushback for Trump's efforts to deport American citizens because the people with the complexion for the protection know that they will be racial profiling that will leave them unaffected by opening up widespread authoritarianism, right? And here's the crazy thing, right? You can't justify why you would feel unaffected by their newfound ability to deport American citizens without racism. You can't. You can't. Like, you can't justify why you feel so comfortable in a country that would give the executive branch and his minions the ability to deport American citizens. You can't justify feeling unaffected by that without racism. And that is the exact same racism that they will try and argue doesn't exist. Your feelings of comfort and safety validate everything that you will argue we are making up and imagining on a regular basis, during the regular times. And that point needs to be made. I did a whole video about that, so be on the lookout for that. I also got Isaiah Factor. I'm gonna start like a weekly Isaiah Factor, because that show be cranking. I'm gonna be honest. That show, anybody in Houston, in the Houston area or Texas, shout out to y'all, man. I don't know how y'all don't do anything else but watch Isaiah Factor. That show be cranking. Isaiah Factor had a whole Black MAGA panel, so we definitely did that. I got one for Officer Tatum, so I'll be on his helmet. I got one for Byron Donalds and the Black conservatives ignoring racism, and one trying to put to bed all this nonsense about Stephen A. Smith being the Democratic nominee. That needs to stop immediately. But without further ado, I would like to shout out Miss Francesca Ramsey, who was our first guest in this space, and her new video for The Leopards Ate My Face.
Nunca pensé que los zapatos me comerían la cara. No, nunca pensé que los zapatos me comerían la cara. Le di la espalda a los míos y pensé que todo iría bien. Nunca pensé que los leopardos me comerían la cara. Slow it down now. I never thought the leopards would eat my face. No, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Well, I turned my back on my own kind, but I somehow thought that I'd be fine. No, I never thought the leopards would eat my
That was dope. We're gonna have to use that. Yeah, we gonna have to. That might get used once or 1,000 times. And even though I don't think she's here, shout out to Regina, who's actually one of the people that took her social media course. I am awaiting a full report. But make sure you guys check out and support Francesca Ramsey and her new version. Now, without further ado, I would like to bring in my guest for today, somebody who I, quite frankly, and this is like my initial reach outs for guests to be in this space, is people whose content I watch and enjoy. That was like the first. I was like, oh, well, I saw something that he did. I was like, oh yeah, this might him. A guy I follow and enjoy very much on social media, but also somebody who is getting himself involved. He went from seeing to doing, and that's something that I want to get on top of today. I don't know if you guys follow him on social media, but you should. Firefighter, paramedic, actor, and hopefully soon to be congressman, Mr. Bernard Taylor. What is going on, my friend?
What is going on, my brother? Finally, nice to meet you, sir.
It is great to meet you too, and I love how prepared I am that I have my headphones in. So just give me one quick second to throw my headphones in, and we will do that.
No worries. Right.
So you are somebody, I believe, just to get to the open and the way I open this particular video. You have kids, right?
Oh yeah, I was rolling the whole time you was talking, brother. Yeah, man. I'm actually my wife is pregnant now. It's about to be number 5.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you
on that. What are the big leaps, right? People say, oh, the first one is an adjustment. Oh, and then they'll tell you the second one, and then they'll tell you the third one, and when did you notice that? Oh, the game has changed.
Oh, so you got to understand it's a big gap between my 15-year-old now and my 6-year-old. So okay. I got different eras. So I had my first group like in the mid 2000s. So now this new group of kids in the late 2000s, that's a whole different breed. Bro. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they put in the water in the middle of that decade, but they coming out different, man.
I like how you called it my first group. Like we talking about like
Oh
you
yeah,
a teacher or something like that. The first
yeah.
group.
See, my first group that I signed, right? They was a trio. And they came out the gate. They was good, man. They had some number ones, but like with everybody, they get older, and they eventually get pushed to the side, and then all of a sudden the new kids on the block. They got to. Now I'm about to have a new duo I'm working with, so it's a little frustrating, man. We can't sign them to 360 deals. They're a little more smart.
That is hilarious, man. That is hilarious. Now, one thing that I wanted to get into with you, I wanted to talk about the transition that you made and your reasonings for doing that. But first, just setting a little groundwork for how we got to this point, right? Like, so how we got to this point with you, because I knew you as a firefighter, but I'd be watching his content like, ain't no fires down there nowhere. Like, he out here churning out all the content. I would be tight if I was in Florida somewhere like that, because you was making TikToks.
So understand, like, the big secret about being a firefighter. I only work 9 days a month.
Oh, so is it like the 24-hour?
Yeah, so I work 24 hours and I'm off for 48. So I'm working 9 days a month. I got 21 other days, 22 other days to just put this content out, man, and fill my time. So it's it started as something literally just to kind of deal with the stresses of the job and kind of making sure I keep my mental health where I need it to be, and provide laughs. We deal with a lot in this field. We see a lot. People don't call 911 because they want to throw you a party. People call 911 at their lowest points, at some of their worst times in their life, and that might be one moment from them, but for me, that could be call number 12. So I could have seen 12 different worst parts of someone's life that day. So everyone has their different way of coping with it in the field. Mine had just happened to be producing content to make people laugh and video games. So it's been keeping me sane all these years. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Now, you had a video that I thought was phenomenal. You talked about going in the back door of one of these rural areas because there was a slip and fall, and so you had to go in the back door. All of a sudden, it's a brother in the back door in rural Florida. Feel free to tell that story much better than I could. But
all right. So my first year as a firefighter, so my rookie year, my first department I worked at, it was in Polk County, Florida. For those of you who know Florida, y'all know Polk County. For those of you who don't know, just think of Mississippi in the middle of Florida. That's what Polk County is. So we get a call, it's like 2:30 in the morning, middle of the night, and a woman. So a lot of elderly people wear those life alert bracelets. So they press those bracelets when they fall. We come and help them get up, make sure they have no injuries, things like that. So she fell and pressed the button. So we're coming. Keep in mind, she's on this side of the house. Her son is on the opposite side of the house. He doesn't know that his mother's on the floor and pressed her button. I don't know what he was doing that he couldn't hear his mom. But anyway, so we show up. We knocking on the front door. We ain't getting no answer.
At that hour, there's some possibilities. Yeah.
Exactly. So we knocking on the front door. We ain't getting no answer. So I'm a rookie. So my lead was like, hey, go around the back. See if you see anything. See if you got a back door you can get into or knock in. So I go around the back. There's a little sliding glass door. So you notice a sliding glass door. You got two sides of the sliding glass door, a left and a right. I was on the left side. No sooner than I do like this, I just heard boom, glass shattered on the right side. I done turned around and done got to the left and started running. Who there? Who outside the house? And I'm just like, fire rescue, fire rescue. Your mom, somebody call fire rescue. Say, ain't nobody call 911. I say, is anybody else with you? You say, my mom. So he goes check on his mom. His mom's on the floor. It's like, Mom, why you didn't tell me you were on the floor? So 6 inches to the right, you'd have never met me.
Wow.
But you gotta, I couldn't be mad at him because again, I'm a black dude in navy blue, pretty much looks all black in the middle of the night, and I'm on the back of your house at 2:30 in the morning.
Now, in a situation like that, right? I see two sides of it because, like, on the one hand, you want to be practical. Like, if I was your dispatcher, let's say, and I'm assuming I know how this works, I'd be like, nah, he can't take it. Just stay here with me. Just stay here with me in the office. We'd be good. But at the same time, you don't want to validate other people's racism, right? So, you know what I mean? How do they navigate that? Because there is real life considerations that clearly they didn't give in this instance.
But that's the thing. That's one of the scariest things about this job. It's not necessarily the burning buildings or going into a fire. It's calls like that. You're literally, think about it. Somebody's calling 911. You're going to a stranger's home. Like, you're literally just walking to a stranger's home. They don't know you from a can of paint. You don't know who called 911 in the house if it's multiple people, especially in the middle of the night. So you're literally with no leeway. Dispatch can only do so much. They can stay on the phone with the person that called, but keep in mind, in this scenario, nobody called. There was a life alert pressed. So they can, if they don't have any communication with the person in the house. Normally in that situation, we would say, hey, dispatch, can you call the person in the house, tell them to open the door, we're trying to get in. But again, in that certain situation, and again, you just find different scenarios like that, where you have to just, be cautious and try your best to, again, fire rescue. But it was after that call, I learned real quick, like, don't ever be the first person to knock on the door. So anybody who work with me know, especially if it's not another one of me, I say, hey, anything after dark, y'all knocking, I'm right behind you.
But do they send you all together? Is there a thing where, like, no, we gotta mix,
Hey, look, yeah, we walk up there together, but I'm 2 steps behind at all times. I'll make sure they see a friendly face.
That is funny. Okay, so you mentioned Life Alert before we get off of that. Have you ever, I didn't even know they were still doing Life Alert in 2025. I'm glad to know that.
Bro, Life Alert.
I'll be there soon. Have you ever walked in and somebody said, I'm falling and I can't get up? Because I'm like, if I ever had, like, I would have to say that. Like, I would have to say that.
More times than you think, brother.
Really?
More times than you think. You gotta understand, these be elderly people. A lot of these people we run on a lot, so they got jokes. They got jokes. Trust you me. They're just as funny as we are, man. Especially if it's somebody you run on a lot. Like, I got this one lady that now I know her address by heart, and every time it comes, no matter what time of day, I know she done fell on the way to the bathroom. And every time I walk in there, she be like, "Hey, sweetie," I'm like, "Hey, it's me again." She's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm glad it was you today."
Wow. I mean, in an instance like that, at some point, you should be like, you know what? Why don't we call her family and be like, we can't, you know what I mean?
But remember, this is Florida. Most people, families in New York and up north, they send their elderly people down here to retire and then just kind of, unfortunately, kind of forget about them. It's sad that it ends up being that way, but it is what it is. So either we try to get them some like help, try to get them like a nursing assistant. If we feel like, we'll recommend people to come in, like, hey, maybe you should have an aide. It doesn't have to be 24-hour things, just maybe at nighttime when this stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So we encourage them a lot, but at the end of the day, it just all comes down to that person's family and that person's finances. But I mean, somebody called 911, we can't be like, nah, we tried to come to pick you up. We coming. we got to do it.
We got 2 per week. You get 2 calls per week. That's it. We pick you up. You gotta wait till Wednesday. We'll pick you up on Wednesday.
Bro, some of them be proud though. They won't even. They'll lay on the floor all night because they don't want to call you, and they'll wait till like in the morning or something when like others like they done laid on the floor for 6-7 hours, and now they got a different medical issue because they've been on the floor for 7 hours. And those are the people we be like, look, we understand you got some pride, but call us because now you done created a worse situation. I'd rather just come here and put you back in the bed. I got to come here, be dealing with your low blood pressure because you want to lay on the floor all night.
That would be me. I'm honest. I can't even mock them. That would be me. I'm going to have relatives. When my son who's yelling comes to visit me when I'm older, I'm going to be on the floor because I would have beaten that fail 6 days ago. God. And I ain't calling nobody over here to pick me up. I'm just be on the floor all the time. He going to walk in like, hold on, let me go pick my dad up.
And to be honest, it is us. It is us that I have to go to, and I'll be like, "Why y'all wait till you call last minute? Stop being proud. Call me to come pick you up off the floor. It ain't nothing to be embarrassed about."
This old brother, you don't know what I've been through. I'm not calling no EMTs so no white boy can come pick me up. That's not happening. If I knew it was you, I would have called. But I got to roll the dice.
Absolutely.
I'm on with Bernard Taylor now. I have to ask you this question, and I remember when I was invited you on, I was like, oh, I got to ask him about that, which was like weeks ago, and I had weeks to look up this specific like reference and didn't do it. So whatever. So there was a viral video that came out a couple years ago, and it was a brother who was talking to, I don't know if it was like his girlfriend's relative who happened to be a white retired firefighter who was a firefighter like, you know, back in the day. And I guess they had become friends. And
talking about the trucker, the guy who was talked to the guy at the diner.
Maybe that was it. Was that it? Where he talked about the black people? Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you tell that story because I done messed it up. I done telephoned that story and messed it up.
No, it's fine. So this guy, he drives trucks, and he was at a diner, and while at the diner, he noticed that there was a group, another family celebrating their elderly relatives like anniversary or whatever. And the guy left. He went to go to the restroom. When he came back to the restroom, you know, he was just being polite. He walked by the guy as he was leaving, and he was just like, "Hey, man, I don't know what you're celebrating, but congratulations." And then that's where the whole conversation started. The guy was just like, I don't feel like, you know, much celebrating. And then, you know, they got into the whole story. And eventually what happened after the conversation, the guy was just like, you know, I used to be a firefighter, and, you know, I've just been having a lot of things haunt me lately as I get older. And then the guy just got curious, like, well, what was haunting you? Like, what you want to talk about? I'm here now. You done got me sitting down. What's going on? So, you know, he told him as a firefighter when he was up north, he would it was common practice, unfortunately, to leave, you know, brothers and sisters, African Americans in fires, not necessarily go in to save them, even, you know, if it was relatively easy grab. Like, it was, once it was seen that the people in the house were of color, they would make no effort to go save them. They would actually let them, you know, burn to death, unfortunately. And he said he still is haunted by screams of little children, you know, burning alive. And it's unfortunate, but again, just thinking about those times, we're talking about the 50s and the 60s, and that was not an uncommon thing, unfortunately, for firemen to do that practice. I don't know, even if you remember the story from a few years ago, the guys up in Detroit, the firefighters who lied about attempting to save some 2 black kids that were in a fire, and the mom, yeah. So actually, what did I see? It was on, I think I saw it on like the TYT network. You know, the black dude with the glasses. I can't remember. Yeah. He was reporting on the story. So after they did an investigation, it was determined that the paperwork that the firefighters filed, they falsified, and they lied about attempting to save these children. And unfortunately, the children lost their lives, and the mom was able to, you know, come back and sue the city and all that stuff. But I mean, it's only so much that can do. Is you lost your babies. So it is an unfortunate situation. That's why a while ago I made a video about, you know, just talking about the comfort that I see when I go on calls, especially when I go on calls in neighborhoods that, you know, that are predominantly black, and they see me get off the truck. I can see it in their eyes, the relief and I made a video about that, and it's you know, it is what it is. Like, people are relieved when they see someone who looks like them come off that truck, come off that ambulance, come off that fire truck. And obviously, you know, you get all the dog whistles in the comments and all things of that nature. And at no point in time was I, you know, disparaging any other groups. I was just expressing like, hey, I see my people, and I see the struggle that they go through, and I know the relief they feel when I'm in the back of the rescue with them, or when they see me get off the truck to provide aid with them. Because it's not uncommon, and let's just be real, it's real life. It's not uncommon for biases to even enter to the fire service with certain people. So they've experienced different firefighters, EMTs, paramedics come and provide their loved ones medical care, and not all of them are nice. Not all of them provide the customer service necessary when it comes to people who look like us. And I get those stories. You know, they tell me in the back of the rescue, it's like, I'm really glad it was you. You know, last time I had somebody who was not so nice, or, you know, didn't want to listen. So to be blind or to act like it don't exist, it would just be disingenuous.
Yeah, I have a cousin who's in the medical field out west. And we were talking around the time of that story of the nurse that had been seen breaking the legs of the
man.
So now that ended up not being racial, and it ended up just being, she's just an extremely evil person who's disorganized. However, the conversation that we were having surrounding that, he was talking about all the kinds of things that he sees and he's around, how racism affects Black people and our outcomes negatively in the medical field. And so, right, where my mind goes is when we think about, how we are impacted by racism in a society. Typically, it's kind of like big policy, right? We talk about like presidents and stuff like that, and it's police. Police get all the smoke, right? Police get all of the smoke. Absolutely. And not that I want to take any smoke away, but police get
well-deserved smoke. Well-deserved smoke.
I'm like, there needs to be smoke for some of these DAs. You know what I mean? There needs to be smoke for some of these prosecutors, and just open your mind, right? Because in that case with the nurse, that ended up not being racial, but imagine the possibility because of how vulnerable we are in that moment. And it's obviously it's we talk about the medical field, you're talking about firefighters and what is possible there. Obviously, police officers, attorneys, and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to as somebody else who's actually in multiple of those fields, how much of that you see and are around and how you're impacted by that.
Well, again, like I say, to act like it doesn't exist would be disingenuous. If you look, there are always stories. If you take the time to look, there are stories that come out, frequently, to be quite honest with you. There's a story about a guy over in Tampa who had the guys at the station, like they hung a monkey up at the top of the bay and would put like bananas and stuff in his bunk. There's the situation out in Colorado where the young man was having a psychotic episode, and the EMTs, paramedics, they gave him
that was Elijah McClain.
Elijah McClain. Yeah, they gave him an unnecessary amount of a drug called ketamine, and that we do use that to subdue patients who are violent or who are who need to be restrained. However, there's a process and that must be followed. And first and foremost, we don't take orders from police officers on what medicine to give. So you gave this guy medicine without doing any kind of checkup. You didn't check his vitals. You didn't get any kind of medical history. You didn't find anything about him before you decide to give him medicine, which is all the things we have to do. We don't just show up on scene and give you medicine. Like, we have to assess you and determine whether or not this medicine is actually going to cause you further harm. Mm-hmm. So, but being that, Elijah McClain was a young Black dude who was having a mental health breakdown, I'm still not understanding how all these people couldn't restrain this one dude and it went straight to that point, as opposed to, like, I know for me in my department, we have so many different steps before we even get to that. So I'm actually dealing with a situation now. One of my mentors, very close, a mentor of mine who actually got me in the fire service, who got me started in the fire service, she just ended up finishing out a 3-year sexual assault case against a chief of hers in her department, and she ended up losing in court, the criminal court and civil court, and the chief only got a slap on the wrist. But he ended up, the situation was that he grabbed her by the butt, 2 hand cheeks. I'm talking about 2 cupfuls, like not no accidental swipe, like gave her a hug, the whole thing. So she was a little bit distraught about it and tried to, again, it was white superior officer, Black lady. She was trying to just do the right thing and be, be a company, a department lady, not bring too much bad publicity to the department. But it started to get to the point, like after that happened, he was starting to be a little bit more like suggestive with text messages and kind of not letting it go. So eventually she ended up reporting it, which ended up causing her to face all kind of retaliation over the past couple of years. And I was so disappointed because I'm just finding this out last week. I didn't know she was going through these whole 3 weeks, because if I had known, and she told me, she said, I didn't tell you because you don't know how to, you would have came down here and showed, and that's right. You my people. When they say protect black women, my face next to the thing, the dictionary, like I'm coming down. I don't care what it costs me. So she was protecting me, quote unquote, by not telling me about it. But so again, it's just all different types of things we face, whether it's from the people in our own department or outside external forces. It's only out of the whole nation, only 8% of the fire service is African American.
Wow.
And the one thing that actually hurts us the most too, man, is even out of that 8%, a lot of brothers that get in and get into service and they start drinking that Kool-Aid and they forget their brother at some points. And then when things hit the fan and they reminded that they're brother, they looking confused. And people like you be trying to tell you, hey, you know, we in there, we working, but don't forget who you are and where you're working. This is not a career field that they want us in. Like we're kind of continuing to still break down barriers and bust through these doors to get into this career field. So just keep that in mind.
I'm on with Bernard Taylor, and I see. I think the conflict that I see, right, is I understand when it comes to like, you know, these walls of silence, right? How it is in your best interest to promote an ethos that gives you all protection, right? That's just in anybody's best interest, right? Like if we all content creators were like, nobody say nothing, you know what I mean? And we can all just get away with more stuff. Like I get why it's in your best interest to do that. But whenever something happens out of pocket, it's always like, oh, well, you know, it's always the one bad apple, right? It's the one bad apple kind of thing. But you lose the ability to weed out any apples by virtue of how you react in these moments, and how that's not just so blatantly like, I don't understand how this is still a thing. I'm like, I don't get how the public. I get why the you know, I said police get all the smoke, and I'm bringing it back. And somebody said no fire, pun intended. It wasn't intended, but since you're here, I get why the police love the blue wall of silence, but why would the public be okay once they're aware of the blue wall of silence? Like, that's insane that we allow that to continue.
I think a lot of people want to believe in a reality that doesn't exist, man. A lot of people want to believe we live in a fairy tale society, that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing in the best interest of society as a whole. And it's just not the case, man. It's just not the case. We all have our inherited biases and prejudices and things that we have experienced in the way we've been brought up over time. And it gets brought into every aspect, no matter what you're doing, no matter if you are a police officer, no matter if you work in the fire service, you work in the EMS service, you still bring those biases into those fields, even fields, again, that are designed to have the mentality on put the public like these people are heroes. Yeah, that's true, but even heroes turn to villains sometimes. Like, we all watch superhero movies. I'm a comic nerd. You know what I'm saying? Some of my favorite heroes, they had these villain turns every now and again, man. And it's unfortunate, but again, we have to start living in reality. Everything is not sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately.
Why are DC Comics movies so trash? Nah, I don't want to go there.
Hey man, look at here, bro. I'm so dumbfounded with DC. They should have did whatever Christopher Nolan was on. They should have just followed his lead. But the Dark Knight trilogy is the best thing that ever happened to DC. I can't even claim anything else, man. It's unfortunate. I was a DC guy. Like, that was my thing growing up. Like, Saturday morning cartoon, I'm right there. Batman, all that stuff in the mornings. And now I'll be ashamed. Like, look here, I'm actually mad that it took me so long to flip from my superhero favorite from being Batman to Black Panther. I feel like I let my people down.
Nobody told me about Black Panther when I was growing up. I didn't know nothing about it.
I found out about Black Panther around like 2013. I was like, what you mean? It's a black dude that run his own country and everybody afraid of, like, what? So I started doing that reading. I said, man, and I had Batman as my favorite superhero all these years. I had to flip on everybody. I said, why y'all ain't tell me?
Bro, I had a moment with my son because somehow he got like an Ant-Man book and he was reading about Ant-Man. And then he ended up, I guess, at school getting some super figure that was some other like obscure superhero that had man on it, and all of a sudden, like a light bulb went off, and I go, "Wait a minute! They was just putting animals in man, and that flew for decades. Like it never occurred to me. Like I was like, I thought Spider-Man and Batman were so like that. Now I'm like, they really just put just a rant like." It could have been Squirrel Man for all we know. Like, it just didn't blow up like that. And I was like, wow.
I don't think the creativity was there back in the 40s and the 50s. They just look outside and say, oh, it's a bat out.
You're right. There we go. All right. You are actually doing something that I don't have the courage presently to do. And I want to get into that. Let's not go viral because you've done that too. But running for office, how did that idea come about? And what was the process?
So, first of all, I want to say thank you, as you have done a tremendous job in educating me over the years as far as on different things, whether it's politics, whether it's social justice, like just watching you over the years. So definitely want to say thank you, brother, because your education has been a big inspiration and a big help. Been watching you since ESPN. I know you was this deep, bro. So appreciate it.
That goes back. Thank you, man. Much love. Much love.
So between watching channels like yours, watching Ring of Fire with Aaron Cousins, watching Roland Martin, obviously, just kind of getting more knowledgeable about this, about things going on, especially the things that affect our community. And over the past year, just everything that has happened, everything that I've been exposed to, from the election all the way up until now has impacted my life one way or another. And it comes a point where we can't just be sitting around, talking to each other, talking to, like, this is crazy. Why isn't nobody doing nothing and all this other stuff? It comes a point in time where somebody has to be like, all right, I'm gonna do something, because sitting here talking to you, we just sitting here talking, then we're gonna go home and nothing gonna happen. So somebody need to go up here and try to make something happen. So that was kind of where I was at a point in time. So keeping in mind, like, every aspect of everything that has happened has affected my life one way or another. Whether it's the whole immigrant situation going on back then, when he was talking about the whole Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs. My wife's Haitian. She's the daughter of Haitian immigrants. That was tremendously disrespectful. I know the work that again, I'm from Miami. I know the work that people, especially Haitian people, come in and put to try to make their lives better and try to make a life for their families. You know what I'm saying? So that was a spark right then and there. I seen, how that hurt my wife and how angry it made her, and that it made me even more angry, because again, that's my lady, that's my queen. I don't want nobody making her mad. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody who rub orange Cheeto dust on his face. So whether it's that. The whole attack on the Department of Education, keeping in mind my youngest child now is autistic. He depends on an IEP plan. Anything happens to the Department of Education, whether it's shuttered out or it ends up being closed by an act of Congress. I live in Florida. You think I'm going to depend on the state of Florida to do the right thing by my child and any other child who relies on IEPs and special needs and disabilities? Absolutely not. My governor's stealing from Medicaid, so he definitely stealing from the education fund. You know what I'm saying? So then you have to think my career in the back of these ambulances. I work with the elderly. Most of the people that I work with are on Social Security and Medicaid. What a lot of people don't understand is, when these people get to a certain age and all they have is Social Security and Medicaid, especially those that are living in like these nursing facilities or these assisted living facilities, Social Security and Medicaid pays for their stay in these facilities. And I'm not talking like the top of the line facility. I'm talking about them facilities that you can smell from the outside, like them type of facilities. And it barely covers that. So any cut to Social Security or any cut to Medicaid, you're talking about a huge chunk of the population homeless or out on the street. Or even if they have relatives, now these people have to go be a burden to their relatives. So keep in mind, you had your elderly parents in these facilities being taken care of. Now they don't have those resources. You're talking about a $90,000 expense coming into your home because you got to feed and take care of this person. And if they require a CNA 24-hour care, they don't have Medicaid no more. Who's going to pay for that? Now you got a medical bill you got to pay for because that person needs 24-hour care. So either you're going to find them somebody to take care of them, pay out of pocket, or you're going to have to quit the job or find somebody to come take care of them. So it's a burden either way. So just so many different things have been happening that have just impacted my life directly. And it was just like, it comes to a point in time where it's just like, you know what? I got to stand up and do something because nobody else is, apparently.
Well, that is the that's kind of the catch-22 because I know I grew up in DC, so I was around politics my entire life, and I was like kind of literally brought up in politics. Family that were working, but I became so disgusted during the Bush Gore thing really had me tight when that happened.
Yeah.
But after I think after 9/11, when he got reelected again a second time, although not like I was really hard for John Kerry, right?
Yeah.
John Kerry?
It was John Kerry. Yeah.
I'm not going hard in the paint for John Kerry. I just the fact that he was allowed to be real. I became so disillusioned and disgusted. Like I just wanted nothing to do with it. Like I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. It's very weird how life works that I ended up being back in this space. It's very strange. And I will talk about it, story for another time. But I look at like Jasmine Crockett, for instance, right? Like she's who I talked the video about today. But obviously we're only aware of her nationally because she's a congresswoman. But you look at what she has to deal with and who she has to deal with, who she has to be around. And it's like, who wants to do that? You see Republicans just bail constantly or like, yeah, I'm out. Like I can't be, I refuse to sit on the side with them. I'm not going to say nothing. Now, granted, I could do the honorable thing and try and fight it, but you know what I mean? I got enough loot. I'm out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the rub where it's like, yes, it is so in need of people like you, but what people like you want to surround themselves with these knuckleheads on a regular basis.
Yeah, but again, it's just we need more people like us to replace these knuckleheads, unfortunately, and more people like myself are stepping up across the country. We got a huge Discord channel right now where there's a bunch of young people that are running for different positions, whether it be Senate positions, Congress positions, all over the country. It's absolutely crazy, man. So how many people have been radicalized over the past year to like just say, you know what, I'm running for office. I see some of these people that are in office, and you can't tell me that I can't do a better job than Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Nancy Mace or any of these people that just be on TV all the time talking about nothing and just showing the dumbest parts of America. Like there's absolutely no way that you can tell me that, I'm sorry, Byron Donalds is not going to be the representation of black people in Congress. Absolutely not. He's not going to be the representation of black men in Congress. I know it's more than that in Congress.
He's not. Because they going to send him to the government. That's why.
Bro, I don't know what he thinks. Again, I'm Floridian through and through. I was born in Miami. I was raised in Miami. I was raised up here in my district now. I know Florida. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't gonna make it out of primary. Ain't no way. Absolutely.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. I don't care how much Trump is his daddy. Ain't no way. They not having it.
So who do you think, as you would call it right now, who's the next governor of Florida?
Casey DeSantis.
Okay.
Unless again, the Democrats come out with a candidate that can galvanize enough people to actually go out and vote. Because we at least 1.5 million deficit to Republicans here as in terms of registered voters. So the only chance Democrats have is to have someone that comes out and galvanizes the entire state, and also their Republican candidate has so disillusioned his party that people don't turn out to vote for them. They don't vote for the Democrat, but they don't vote for the Republican. They just sit at home. So again, that'd be the only way that a Democrat can actually win this state. The last time it was close was Andrew Gillum. And we know his situation, but that was literally like 50-50.
I remember.
Yeah. And again, that was someone, mayor of Miami, very likable, very personable, could galvanize, because you have to galvanize Miami, you got to galvanize Broward County, which is Fort Lauderdale, you got to galvanize Palm Beach County. Those are your solid blue counties in Florida. Then you got Orange County, which is Orlando. Then you have Tampa, St. Petersburg, and then Jacksonville has the next largest African American population and the next largest city. If you can't galvanize those cities to turn out for you, you're not winning Florida. Point blank, period. So
now, where? Correct my ignorance of geography, but where in Florida are you?
So I am right north of Palm Beach County. So my district that I'm running for consists of northern Palm Beach County, Martin County, and St. Lucie County. It's called the Treasure Coast. So if you think in your mind, just think about from Miami and go up. So Miami, Dade County, you have Broward County, Palm Beach County, and then Martin and St. Lucie County. So all of that is considered South Florida.
Okay. Like
So
Port St. Lucie, where they have
that's my city. That's why I'm
spring
at.
training game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. There you go. That's right. You're a baseball guy. So yeah, right where the Mets spring train.
Okay. So you have faith that the Treasure Coast gonna send a brother up to Washington? Is that?
So this is my plan. So the last election here in 2024. So the current representative of my district is Brian Mass. Those of you who don't know who Brian Mass is the congressman that is the disabled veteran that always wears the shorts, so he can show you the legs, so you can know that he's disabled. So he is the current representative of my state, not my state, of my district. He is tremendously disliked in this district. However, it is a Republican district, and he won by 20 points the last election.
Wow.
The reason he won, though, and I tell people all the time when I go around talking with people and talk with my community, because first and foremost, the big population here of African Americans is in the city called Fort Pierce. Fort Pierce has a large African American population, northern parts of Palm Beach County, and then also certain pockets in the Martin County area. They had a vote turnout. I just looked at the numbers the other day. I think of the entire African American population, it was a 9% turnout.
Wow.
I didn't even know who the Democratic nominee was until I went to cast my vote on the ballot, and I looked. I said, "Who is Thomas Wickoff?" You know what I'm saying? That's how much campaigning was done on this side of the aisles. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is being someone who serves the district as a firefighter and paramedic. So I serve these people I'm working with every day. I live in the northern part of the district. I played high school football up here in this district. I know a lot of different people in this area who have a lot of influence. I'm someone who can galvanize my people to actually turn out and register to vote and all of it, and actually come out to vote. Because whoever they put up, if you can't galvanize the minority community, you ain't got no shot. Because again, the man won by 20 points. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is getting people elected, registered to vote, getting people educated and motivated about why they need to vote, and then we're dealing with the midterms. We all know midterm turnouts are much lower than presidential turnouts, and even lower when Donald Trump's name's not on them. Mm-hmm. So we can actually energize and mobilize the base here, and hopefully things continue to go. Even though not hopefully, but we playing the odds. Things will probably continue to go down dealing with this administration. So hopefully by that time, even if they can't bring themselves to vote for someone with a D next to their name, again, they become so disillusioned, like, man, I'm not even getting up. It is what it is. Whoever wins, wins. And we get enough of that, we'll flip this district, because before they did all the gerrymandering, it actually used to be blue district until about four to 6 years ago when they refigured some lines. So it's not impossible. It just takes work, and that's why we're starting now. That's why we're starting this far out from the midterms, because again, we want to be in our communities and we want to let them know, like, we're a bunch of people not just showing up saying, hey, you need to vote. You need to vote right now. It's your duty. Like, no, these people are not going to come out and vote just because you showed up a month before election. Like, hey, black people, we remembered you. Like, no, you need to actually show that you care about these people in these communities and you care about their concerns, and you're going to be there to help them and make a difference.
I am fascinated by Florida specifically. I've done a ton of videos about the Latino vote and how that broke there in Florida. But
so before you finish, you got to separate. Okay, remember we're talking about Florida. So there are Latinos, then there are Cubans.
okay.
You got to differentiate, and Latino people tell you that you got to differentiate. Okay, it's Latinos and you got Cubans. They're two totally different demographics.
Well, I mean, I will say because the Cubans have been, they lost their TPS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marco Rubio wasn't even trying to cape for them. Like, he wasn't even trying to help them out. So this is my thing, right? In terms of the path to purpling, I guess we can't blue Florida first. We got purple it first. We got purple it. But it seems to be, to me, it seems to be well on its way, given all of the consequences that have been wrought since Trump has taken office. That being said, it was clear to me prior to the election, and that apparently wasn't enough. So maybe I just can't read this. You know what I mean?
Look here, man. Look, like I said, Miami-Dade County turned red for the first time in my lifetime. I'm 36 years old. I never looked at a map and saw Miami-Dade be red. The influx of different Latino communities and the information that they've been given over time about who actually is here supporting them has permeated. I'm talking about permeated through these different communities, brother. Permeated. And again, like I say, Miami-Dade used to be solid. You ain't had no chance of winning that as a Republican. But because they've done a great job over these years, and credit to them, they had a plan. They knew who they wanted to attack. They knew who they wanted to galvanize. They say we ain't getting black people. I don't care what we do. You got these two crazy black MAGAs out here. We can talk about them. We talking about actual black people that's not trying to grift. We're not getting them, but we can target. We can target these Latino people. We can get them on our message because a lot of the things that they believe in are that Latino people actually are more in line with, especially a lot of the conservative viewpoints. So, which is crazy to me because I think I'm a very analytical person. Like you're getting rid of all these people that are on your side. The whole thought process behind getting immigrants out of the country was they coming in and voting blue, so we got to get them out of here. When truth be told, they coming in and voting red. Mm-hmm. So like you probably want them to stay, to be quite honest with you. But and maybe they'll find that out once they realize, all the people that they getting rid of, and this time around comes next year, and they realize they done lost a percentage of their voting block because, again, I don't think they doing the calculations. Like these people actually come in and vote for y'all. They not come in and vote for us. So
they have argued both sides. They will argue whatever makes the most sense at the time.
But I believe with everything going on, we can get enough to again either disillusion people from actually going out because they just can't bring themselves to vote for them. They don't want that on their record and they just won't go out and do it. Or you get enough of the independents and you get enough of the people that flip on this guy to actually do the right thing and vote for people that actually want to come in and help the country as a whole and not just help themselves.
I'm on Bernard Taylor. And by the way, make sure you go. I know you have multiple different IGs. You got Bernard Taylor, and then the other one is Bernard for Congress.
Yes. So yeah, y'all follow me on both those, man. _ Bernard Taylor and then Bernard Taylor for Congress. Anywhere is fine. If you like political stuff, obviously I've just started out in the political field. So you Bernard Taylor for Congress. If you just want to laugh, man, I'll make fun of a lot of stuff. You just want to laugh, you follow Bernard Taylor. That's a good place to go to.
Here you made me think of something, right? When we're talking about, because a lot of the conversations, at least that I've had in my videos, talks about a lot of the anti-blackness that exists in other communities. Obviously, we talk about racism a lot, but we talk about anti-blackness in Latino community, and they talk about how the Haitians, they just went and talked about the Haitians literally like dogs. You know what I mean? Talked about them eating pets and whatnot, and that wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like that didn't whistle to you where they were going with it, right? And then you look at how the vote broke down, and you'll hear from a lot of people will tell you, oh, well, it was Kamala. I voted for Obama. Obama's somebody that was able to galvanize a lot of these communities. Obviously, the the mental makeup of our country was different in 2008 than it is right now. So it can't be an apples to apples comparison. But as somebody who's running for office, I'm fascinated by your approach to wanting to, obviously you've seen your community and the things that they have experienced, but you also know that you have to, you don't necessarily have to galvanize, but you at least cannot turn off these other communities. You have to make them feel a level of comfort with you, and you have to navigate this in a way that doesn't alienate you. You know what I mean? Like what is the kind of mental math that you have to that comes into being a black man running for office in 2025 in Trump's America? In Trump's America, in DeSantis's Florida.
You know what? At the end of the day, man, the only color that matters to a lot of people is green, brother. I love, and at the end of the day, that's what you have to talk to, man. And that's why I feel that's why I feel the ball was dropped during this last election cycle. Like it's again, I'm out here, I see both aspects. I work in the fire station. Fire station is generally 90% Republican. So I'm in these conversations, like I'm sitting at the table just listening to these conversations all day and the things that these people are concerned with. And I'm a part of the working class American. I can tell you the things that people are focused on, and a lot of the stuff that are extreme on both sides, nobody wants a part of. Like whether it's extreme left or extreme right, a lot of the country is really just in the middle. And getting people to just focus on the stuff that's in the middle that we can all agree on, instead of being pulled into the fringes either side. You get what I'm saying? So whether it's just going out in the community and just talking about the different things that we see as a community, as far as like cost of living here in Florida. You know, homeowners insurance in Florida is terrible. Like it's so many companies have left Florida. It's just extremely hard to get homeowners insurance. That's a big thing that people are dealing with. Cost of living here in Florida is skyrocketing. Like if you ever look at the rent in South Florida, it is ridiculous. Like people who work in my department, we make decent livings that can't afford to actually live in Palm Beach County because the cost of living is so high. Like I can't afford to live in Palm Beach County. That's why I live up here up north in St. Lucie County. A lot of my coworkers, they live in other counties because they can't, unless they were already, born or they already had situations set up in these counties like Dade and Broward. But for a new guy, 22, 23 or 30 is just coming on to the department and he's moving you can't afford to live in the county. You got to drive 30, 45 minutes away, depending on where you station, sometimes an hour away just to get to work, just simply because you can't afford to live there. So things of that nature. And then we got a lot of people that were going to retire this year. Some people have pension plans. Some people have investment plans. If you have an investment retirement and you was going to retire this year, you got to work a little bit longer now. You ain't finna go out with the market looking at this way, and how that affects my brothers in the department, everybody, no matter what side you on. If you had this chief that was about to retire, now he ain't retiring, you can't promote. And because our promotional lists expire every 2 years, if he doesn't leave, you can't promote. Now you got to go through that whole process of testing again. And these promotional tests are very, very difficult. Dudes take 6 months off, to be studying for these tests. They take vacation days to try to get to the top of these lists so they can promote. And that's time away from your family. So you did all this sacrificing and something that's not even in your control, because again, this guy that was going to retire can't retire now because his pension ain't looking too good. His investment plan ain't looking too good. Well, now you I voted for this guy, and now he just, he inadvertently cost me a raise and a promotion. So just bringing things down to that level, like how it's impacted each and every one of us on a just simply basic level is, I think, where we need to get back to.
All right, Bernard, you got me triggered just now. It was the word inadvertently. It was the word. It was the word inadvertently. No, how accountable are they actually? You know what I mean? I'm like, how?
I'm not gonna say. I'll say so. Inadvertently was the wrong word. We knew what he was going to do. We had a whole plan. He put it out in the book. I don't understand how people don't know what he was going to do.
But that's a legitimate thing. But no, I'm saying I have seen tariffs is a primary example, right? Primary example, right? So he announced the tariffs, and all the MAGAs came in. Oh, it's for us. It's for us. He finally. See, we told y'all when y'all tried to make fun of us because he had all the billionaires and the richest 1% surrounding him all during the inauguration, and he made us hang out at the Washington Wizards home like we were. Like we didn't already feel bad enough. We had to hang out under the Washington Wizards banners while they were over there at the inauguration, right? So y'all tried to dunk on us. Now he got the tariffs in order to hurt the 1% and bring these jobs back to the MAGAs. Oh, what's that? The tariffs are off? Well, see, no, because he knew it was going to make stuff too expensive for us. That's how, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How accountable are they actually holding him for what's going on right now?
So, again, a lot of them are, I hate to call them smart because if you're smart, you would have voted for the man. But a lot of them are, they will start to turn a little bit. They putting 2 and 2 together. But then, you just got those 30% that's just no matter what happens, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Don't worry, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And it's like, bro, y'all, you looking at the numbers. Like, you can't retire right now. Like, how are you not upset? You are 62 years old talking about still jumping off a fire truck. Like, no way. I'm 36 and my knees hurt. Too, jumping off no fire truck. You can't tell me that is okay. So you got those that no matter what. Because again, I don't think it's like they don't know what's going on or they're not putting two together. I think it comes back to that pride thing. Don't nobody want to admit that they was wrong. Right. Don't nobody want to admit that they voted for the wrong person. Right. They say this has to work out. I was on here on the internet talking so much noise about how good this was gonna be, and they got all my tweets and all my posts. And if I come back and say I regretted it, somebody gonna have a whole list of everything I said and just gonna blast me out. So I gotta go down with the Titanic. And look here, I'm man enough and grown enough that hey, if I was wrong, I can say, hey, my bad, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they gonna go down with the ship, unfortunately.
You actually gave me like a mental image of an old 62-year-old dude jumping on a fire truck, then falling off, then needing to call an EMT to come get the 62-year-old dude who fell off the fire truck.
True story, bro. True story.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to throw the man under the bus, but true story, man. It happens. It happens.
So you got like 2 scenes. You got half the firefighters over here and the rest of them in the parking lot.
I had somebody, my first department, man, buddy jumped off the truck and tore his Achilles. Achilles straight snap, bro. I'm like, hey, man, it's time to retire. Don't do this no more.
Wow.
Like, you ain't even make it to the fire. Just came down until he's broken. So it's we athletes, man. We not high paid athletes, but we athletes.
I know that you've told a lot of good stories. What's your go-to firefighter EMT story?
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to try to say this in a way that don't get your channel messed up on YouTube. So I'm going to be a lot of innuendos and all this other stuff. So my craziest call and oh my gosh. All right. So again, this Polk County is I told you, it's like the Mississippi of Florida, man. A lot of crazy stuff happens here. So this was my second year.
Are you sure Jacksonville is furious? North Florida is furious. You just said.
Look here, man. North Florida. So Grady Judd, the sheriff. That's Polk County. He's the sheriff of Polk County. The crazy sheriff that's always got the pictures of the people and talking noise.
Okay.
Just try to look up Grady Judd. Then you'll put 2 and 2 together. That's Polk County. So second year working. Again, another middle of the night call. We get called out. This lady called, says she's having trouble breathing. Her house, she had a house, and it was like on the farmland. So she had a house, she had a barn. To get to her house, she had to go through the barn, right? So me and my partner, we rolling up, and we like, damn, we gotta walk through this barn. So we walking. We announced ourselves. Fire rescue, won't hear nothing. Say, all right, well, we're going through the barn. We get to the door. I see this man like doing calf raises at 3 a.m. Like, who works out at 3 a.m, right? and I hear a chicken just, all right, I'm in the barn, I hear chickens. And I just hear the chicken just like loud. I don't know what's going on with this chicken. So we hit the corner because he's on the other side of this wall. As I'm coming around the corner, my guy butt naked with the chicken, giving this chicken the business. The business. And again, I'm thinking calf raisers. He was giving that chicken the business.
I got the calf raisers. The calf raisers. That was a good description. That was a good description.
So all I'm hearing is, and he see us. He drops the chicken, turns around, and takes off running. He done jumped through the window of the barn. I'm looking at my partner. My partner looking at me
Wait. I need a better mental image. Give me an age range.
Oh, he was early 40s. Early 40s. He wasn't. Yeah, he was early 40s. He was early Jethro. But so he done took off, jumped out the building, and me and my partner look like we just see that, and then I turn and look at the chicken. The chicken just like, oh, just limping like in a circle. Keep in mind, we haven't even seen the patient yet. So I'm trying to gather myself, and I'm looking at him like, so what do we do with the chicken? Like, should we just like toss it out somewhere? Like, this chicken looked miserable. So we ended up just like, hey, you know what we can do, man? We went to go see the lady. We put on the stretcher, and she asked me, wait, did you guys see my son? I was like, yeah, we saw him. We don't know where he went though, man. Oh. So we loaded up on the rescue, and that was that.
Wow.
Yeah, brother.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That really does happen. Like, it's
real life, bro. Real life, man.
The fact that you want to serve people after you saw that is amazing. You know what I mean? I thought I was blown away last week with my researcher Regina and all the work that she does, despite being a Browns fan. But you saw what you saw, and you wanted.
Hey man, wow. I love what I do, man. It's the best job in the world. You get to serve your community in a noble fashion. You get to help people in a time of need. But again, man, there are some funny reasons people call 911, bro. And the videos that I do where it be like real life calls that I've seen, those are not exaggerations. Those are things that I've seen in person, bro. The video I did with my man stuck in the wall at the restaurant.
Yeah,
that real talk, bro. My man thought he found him the fountain of youth, and put his manhood in there and got stuck.
Well, explain. You gotta explain that for the people that didn't see it.
So we had a call. My man was out to dinner, and I don't know. You guys, we grown here. You got certain places. You got those holes in the bathroom stalls, that those happy holes. We're gonna keep it PG for YouTube. And he was like, all right, let's find out what's in this hole. So put his manhood in the hole. It done swole up. Now he can't pull out. And ain't no happiness on the other side. So now he's stuck in this wall. He got to call 911 to get him out of the wall. So when we come there, I'm like, bro, what's going on? Remember, his back turned to me. So he's like, hey man, I need a little bit of help. So I'm like, all right, step over here, let me see what's going on. He said, I can't. Say, what you mean you can't? Say, I'm stuck. Say, you stuck to the wall. Say, how you stuck to the wall? Then I went and looked. I said, oh. So we ended up taking this big saw. We had to cut him out the wall. So I'm trying to be very careful and surgical not to cut the wrong thing out the wall. So we had to cut him out the wall. So we put him on the stretcher. He has to get wheeled out there through the restaurant with a sheet over him so you can see the tent. So he rolled through the whole restaurant with the tent pole up, and everybody just looking as he getting rolled out the restaurant.
You know how tight I would be if I had to pay to fix my bathroom because you decided you wanted to risk it all on a hole in the wall. And by the way, you told those stories in the right order too, because after the chicken, I was like, oh, it was just a hole in the wall. That ain't nothing.
You much rather the hole in the wall than the chicken.
That ain't nothing. Hey man, I appreciate you jumping on. I'm gonna let you go because I definitely want you to come back. So I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. But I did want to ask before you go, because I'm very curious. You mentioned connecting to other people running for office and trying to do positive in our world today. So if there's anything that you could impart, because a lot of the people, at least a lot of people follow my channel, people that are, couple months recovered from like complete and utter despair, right? So the people that have like picked themselves up and are running, right? You guys are the ones that are I mean like actually like running, like you're up and functional, trying to pull the rest of the people behind you. If there's any nuggets that you glean from connecting with those other folks that you can impart to people looking for some light in this larger political backdrop that we're in.
Just know that there is a huge movement of people that are tired. We're tired of the same old politicians who have been in office since before we were born. We're tired of the same old status quo. We're tired of the same old not fighting back, pretending that the decorum exists and polite politics exists. Like those days are long behind us ever since 2016. So there's a entire group of young, motivated people like myself, people younger than myself. You talked about Isaiah earlier, Isaiah Martin over there in Houston. He's 10 years younger than me, but that dude got the fire of 100 men. And it's just like people like that are we're taking on these responsibilities and these challenges. And again, it's not just in places where we think we got great chances to win. I just told you earlier, my district is an R+20 district. My friend, the young lady Jasmine Thomas over in Oklahoma, she's trying to run the unseat Mark Wayne Mullen in Oklahoma. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, that we're not just going after safe spots where we got a chance of winning, or we know we could win just by having a D next to our name. No, we're challenging these people that have been in these positions that don't take their position seriously because they feel like they're safe. They don't have to listen to their constituents because I got an R next to my name. You're going to vote for me regardless. So even if I don't, you win. It's just showing people that no, we're not accepting the status quo. You're gonna have to come here and work and do your job. If you don't do your job, then yes, I'm going to do it for you. Or the people are going to galvanize behind me, and we're going to take to the streets, and we're going to actually get people in there that are going to represent us, that are going to actually represent the working class. And when I say there are people out here running, I'm talking about firefighters. You got teachers that are deciding to run. People at all kind of just different local level. I got one dude, he just cut grass. He said, I'm whatever, let's do it. Let's see what happens, man. So it's a bunch of people, average Americans, that are just fed up. We're tired of putting our lives and our futures in other people's hands. So we're gonna try to make a difference. We're gonna try to see if we can convince enough people to entrust us with their livelihoods and with their futures, and hopefully we make enough of an impact. We make enough of impression on folks that they actually give us a shot. Because again, we're tired of watching people die in office. Like there's no reason to die in Congress. And one of my big things about my campaign is like, I'm not trying to be a career politician. I don't want to do this forever. You know what I'm saying? I love my job. I still plan on being a firefighter, paramedic, even if I were to win. I only work 8 days a month. I can spend other days up there arguing with folks, but I still plan on doing what I love to do. Because again, I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm not doing this to, again, be a career politician. I'm doing this because I want to actually represent the people of my district. And if they feel like I didn't do a good job, get somebody else to do it.
I very much appreciate that, man. That was really dope. And I appreciate all the people, of similar ilk that are doing what they're doing across the country. I wish I'm a little disappointed, I'll be honest, during, while you were talking, because I was listening, I was getting the nuggets from it. And y'all out here talking about, this is why you should wash your chicken. After you know what I mean? That's really, you know what I mean?
Hey, not gonna lie, bro. I didn't eat chicken for like 2 months after that.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, I can't do it. Cannot do it. I seen what happens to chickens. I cannot do it.
We got
So, yeah.
me talking about finger licking chicken now, and then we got Tina asking did the wall get pregnant. You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all are killing me in here. I'm like trying to keep a straight face while my man dropping nuggets. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I said drop nuggets, chicken nuggets. Oh gosh.
Oh man.
All are too much, man.
Look here, man. If anybody want a good laugh and got a strong constitution, there are worse fields to get into than EMS, man. It's a very rewarding career. Again, I love my job, man. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for the world, even with all the crazy stuff I do see, even with all the sad situations I see, man. It's more good than bad. And if anybody out there, if you're looking for a career or something to get into, that you can serve the community and make a good living and make a good life for your family, definitely look into firefighting, EMT, paramedics, all that stuff. Especially people like us, man. Again, it was only 8% of us in the whole service across the nation, so we definitely need more. And the best feeling in the world to me, I get so many DMs of people like, you made me want to become a firefighter. You made me look into becoming a firefighter. I love what you do. I love your content. How can I be a firefighter? Those are the best messages and comments that I see, man, because it lets me know that I'm making an impact in my own little way. And as long as I can inspire one person, I think I can leave this earth feeling good about myself.
No question. Well, I mean, look, you definitely inspire more than that, with the stuff that you've done, and likewise, I love watching your content. You brighten my day, and I feel particularly inspired by you running for office. And I'm no doubt going to follow you. And of course, you've mentioned several other names, and if the people that those that are listening and watching need to pay attention to, we'll throw them up there as well. But I very much appreciate everything that you're doing and your dedication to your community and your dedication to your family. I'm gonna let you get back to that because I don't know. You ain't getting in trouble. Your wife might hit me up like, word.
Okay, bro. I want to say thank you for allowing me the time to be here in front of your audience, man. Thank you for the education over the years. Like I say, man, I wouldn't know half the stuff I know about politics or about anything if it wasn't for you. And like I say, people like Roland Martin and all of you guys. So, man, you guys are being watched. You guys are making an impact on the community. Don't let these numbers, whatever they might be, fool you. Tell you, you are doing a great job, and we very much appreciate it because we can't depend on others to tell our stories. We can't depend on others to keep it real with us. So we appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything that you do. Again, love you, man. Love everything about what you're doing, and I appreciate your time. And you guys, if you're following me and you're not following my man, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You need that education. And when I do win, I need you to show me around DC because I ain't been there since I was on like a 3rd grade field trip. I'm pretty sure things have changed dramatically.
Bro, I ain't gonna recognize it no more. You know what I mean? Things gonna change dramatically by 2026. That's for sure. But hey, man, if there's any other ways that we can help out, definitely let us know, man. You got an open invitation. So don't let this be the last time you come before that goes down.
Man, all you gotta do is reach out to me, bro. I don't mind, man. I'm chilling. Like I said, I get all these days off. I got plenty of time.
Right, don't say that. Don't put that out there. No, because I fell and I was waiting for him to come back to work on Thursday, but he said he'd be free. So call him at home.
Oh man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too, man.
All right. That is Bernard Taylor. I'm gonna keep his info down there, so make sure you follow him at _Bernard Taylor, as well as Bernard Taylor for Congress. That is his other Instagram is Bernard Taylor for Congress. Y'all were absolutely killing me in the comments. I very much appreciate that. Y'all making me laugh. I think where I left off with these, I want to thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much for that. Christine, thank you very much for your sticker. Julie, thank you for the super sticker. I very much appreciate that. I realize I'm like an hour behind on this. Karen, thank you very much. for your gift. Thank you, Karen. I got Will. Shout out to the Leopards. Absolutely, Will. And if you missed the new rendition of The Leopards Ate My Face, then you can go back to the beginning. It was at about 25 minutes. 25 minutes into this video, you can see Francesca Ramsey's new Leopard song with a mariachi band. Put your son in the choir. It'll help you and him. That's dangerous. We definitely need to put my daughter in the choir because she needs to learn like tune and things like that. But that is something I will take under advisement. Goldilocks made it back off work now. Hi, Reese. Thank you, Goldilocks. I very much appreciate that. In any event, I appreciate you guys as well as everybody. My man Bem who joined, and Treva and TP and Cassie and Chernobyl, everybody that gave at the beginning of the live. We will have. We got my man Obi. You know what? I don't know that Obi is a man. I apologize, Obi. Obi, thank you. My people's Obi. My person, Obi. Thank you, Obi. Thank you. It's been a while since we got one of those. Yeah, very much appreciate it. Thank you, Obi. We will have our members live coming this weekend. He said, I am, bro. I didn't know. It was respect, Obi. It was respect. We got the members live coming this weekend. Kima. As a matter of fact, let's do this too. I'm gonna put a question up on the community tab. That's a great idea. I don't know why I'm just thinking that. I'm gonna put a question on the community tab, or rather, I'm gonna put a post on the community tab where you can list questions for the members live. That's how we're gonna do it. And the first one we're gonna start with is how we started the community chat over on Patreon, which is your first concert. So we're gonna start with that one. So y'all can come prepared with that one. But whatever you want to ask, whether it be about me or about politics or about the world at large, just don't ask me about no chickens. Just don't ask me about nothing that's just gonna get me in trouble. As long as it's something that's not going to get me in trouble, I appreciate it. We got a new Way of Waters, which will be coming shortly, and that will probably be out tomorrow. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I'll be on Olay and Friends. That'll be recorded tomorrow. So, now you know what, Roberta? I sure did. I sure didn't. It needs to be part of my reminder to like the vid poll. I sure did not, but I appreciate you for the reminder, Roberta. Be on the lookout for tomorrow's premiere. It'll probably be sometime in the 3-4 range, and then we will have a BOGO either Thursday or Friday. Probably Thursday. If I'm gonna do the members live, I'm probably gonna do the members live on Friday. So then I would do the BOGO on Thursday. The BOGO, the buy one video, get one for free. So that will probably be on Thursday, but be on the lookout for that. And not needed. Y'all gonna show up to the members live with chicken jokes, and nobody gonna know what they gonna be like, what is this? What is finger-licking chicken supposed to mean? Y'all gonna show up to the members live with chicken jokes. I already know y'all. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you. I appreciate it, Timmy. Thank you. Deshauna, what? Deshauna. You know what I mean? Deshauna. I'm about to get off live. I don't have a lot to look forward to in my life. I don't. I look forward to my premieres. I look forward to my lives. I look forward to connecting with y'all. I look forward to when the kids be asleep and me and my wife get some special time. I look forward to when I'm finished working and I get to go downstairs and watch the playoffs. Deshauna! on. Oh. I'm gonna watch it anyway. Because I had the Pacers +8 or plus, I think they were like +8. I had the Pacers +8. I'm gonna watch it anyway. I'm gonna just pretend like I didn't know. Thank you, Roberta. I appreciate the reminder. Thank you, Allie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Oh, there we go. No, I'm on Indiana. I'm on Indiana. I had Indiana +8 in the first game 1 and game 2. I don't know why they would put them +8 in game 2. I guess they think everybody gonna go on with the Cavs because they got to win. Oh, Miss Ray leaving. That means it's time to go. It's time to go. She done turned the lights off on everybody. Yeah, the Golden State Timberwolves series is gonna be lit. I'm looking forward to that one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll see y'all at the premiere tomorrow. Make sure you like the live, and if you have an opportunity to share it, make sure you do that as well. And make sure you follow my man Bernard Taylor at _Bernard Taylor or Bernard Taylor for Congress. And as we always end our connections and our wonderful communal get-togethers, soak your feet.